what we do at the Martin Trust Center for MIT Entrepreneurship is we focus on making the next generation of innovation-based entrepreneurs. And I think that's very important, innovation-based entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurship is a word that's very much in vogue. And you hear, well, I'm an entrepreneur, so I go around the world. But there's two types of entrepreneurship, and they're fundamentally different. There's what we call SME, small medium enterprise entrepreneurship. And this is a very valid, good type of entrepreneurship, but it's it's based on services, servicing a local economy, local demand, and it's restaurants, dry cleaners, small service companies, usually family-owned businesses within that, almost exclusively family-owned businesses. And these are companies that are small or medium in size, and they generally stay that way because they serve the local market. On the other hand, there's this type of entrepreneurship that we focus on at MIT, which we call IBE, or Innovation-Based Enterprise Entrepreneurship, which generally is a company that's serving global markets, at least regional markets, large regional markets. And it's based on some sort of underlying innovation that allows it to spread, and it has a competitive advantage. And these tend to be companies that are more risky. And they usually require some level of investment, capital investment. And the people who run them aren't seeking so much control as they are to have a major impact. There's Matt Marks here talks about the dichotomy between being a king and being rich. Do you want to be a king and be in control, or do you want to be rich and you might not be in control? And usually it's hard to be a rich king. So you have to choose. In the case of SME entrepreneurship, you're really choosing to be king. In the case of innovation-based entrepreneurship, you're really choosing to be rich, and rich can be based on monetary, but it can really be based on impact too. You're really having an impact on the world. And that's the kind of entrepreneurship we focus on. And it depends, this depends on innovation. And a lot of people think, well, innovation is technology. Well, quite often it is technology, or it's technology enabled, but innovation can be a new type of business model. It can be a new type of process. It doesn't always have to be a new technology. And then when we look at innovations, there are different types of innovations as well. There's the disruptive innovation, which Clay Christensen talks about, and people are very, focused on disruptive innovations. But as well, there are incremental innovations that can be 15% better, 20% better. And these innovations are very important too, especially for large companies. Disruptive innovations are very risky. There's a lot of, but we also look at incremental innovations. And when you look at large companies, incremental innovations are very valuable for them. The other category of innovation that we look at is general innovation. Within your industry, you might see disruptive innovations, you might see incremental innovations, but there are also some other things that are happening out there outside of your industry that might be interesting to bring into your industry, such as a classic one is word processing. It's just happening out there, and it's not industry specific, but are you good at bringing these general innovations in? And these are very valuable because they've been de-risked by other industries. And it doesn't just have to be a technology. Again, it could be a business model. Software as a service has worked in other industries. Has it been brought into your industry? So all these types of innovations we're looking at, and the types of disruptive, incremental, general, but also we're looking at the different, those are the categories. The types of innovations can be technology, they can be process, they can be a very interesting area is business model. How do you capture value? There's a lot of talk now about freemium. Does freemium work? Is it better to do free trials? All this thought about that is very, very important, because we look at it as first you create value as a new venture, and then you have to capture that value. And so often, too much, disproportionate time is spent how do you create the value, and not enough time is spent on how do you capture the value. And this is what people are looking at today is innovative business models. And we spend a lot of time in that in our courses and in the research that's done. looking at both the former and the latter. At the Martin Trust Center for MIT Entrepreneurship, we serve all 5 schools here at MIT. And probably the number one thing we do is we bring together disparate people from across the entire institute, from the School of Engineering, from the School of Management, School of Science, from the School of Architecture and Humanities and Social Sciences. And we create an environment in which they can work together because entrepreneurship is about getting heterogeneous teams together, trying to do something that's never been done before. And so we provide that venue, but we also, so that's probably number one thing, is we help provide a venue where people believe that they can be entrepreneurial, and then we create in that environment a place where they can meet different people who share values of them and aspirations to do that, and then magic happens at that point. But also at the Martin Trust Center, we're responsible for the entrepreneurial education throughout the entire institute. So we do classes, introductory classes, advanced classes, classes based on skills, classes based on industry, classes based on getting real-world experience in companies inside the rigor of an academic institute.